Guinness World Record holder for the biggest aquapark in the world. Everyone else was renting the land and you wanted to rent the sea.
I don't allow clowns in my life and then complain my life is a circus. Last decade, I was bankrupt twice and I was sued 18 times. I became so good at what I do because I failed so many times. Well, I don't want to look back 5 years from now. I wish I pushed more. No, I'm going to push more now. You make money from one of three things. Something you're passionate about, something you know so much about, or an opportunity. I have this thing that the goals have to terrify me, excite me. I'm smart enough to find a way to make it happen. That's the whole thing. I believe so much in myself that no, I'm gonna find a way. And that comes to that relationship between me and myself. You need to be cash heavy right now. I'm 85% liquid right now.
Just because what, you were expecting a recession?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a shit show.
Quick one before we jump into this podcast. Do me a solid favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below this video. If you're looking to remove images, videos, search results, or fake accounts online, go to contentremoval.com. But don't take my word for it. Here's Hormozy.
Frank, you're a fucking legend. I just saw this. Layla also thinks you're a legend, which in my mind means you're... which means you're a double legend in my mind. If you get my wife to think you're a legend, then you're extra cool in my mind. Dude, thank you so much, genuinely. That was such a pain.
Welcome back to the Frankie Lee podcast, and we're in a new location in Dubai. And today I'm going to bring you the legend himself, the Guinness World Record holder for the aquapark, the biggest aquapark in the world, Ahmed Ben Chaibah. Welcome to your penthouse.
You aced it this time.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Wow.
I was nervous doing that intro in your own penthouse, and if I get the name wrong,
it's easy. It's just a studio. That's it.
You know, it's hard for a white guy to do these names, man.
No, that's what happened, you know. But you're halfway through. You're bored like me, so you're okay.
Yeah, we look like twins, to be fair.
No, I'm sexier though.
Because you got better beard lines. I do know where to start. Yeah. What an awesome place that you have overlooking the Palm, and where are we now? What's the London Eye thing called?
Blue Water. That's Dubai Eye, Blue Waters, the whole JBR, and the Palm on the side.
Yeah, unbelievable scenes, and I'll shoot some B-roll so that the people can see the apartment as well. But what a journey it's been for you. Obviously, a man that never got involved in social media, blew up on social media in the last 1, 2, 3 years.
1 year.
Last 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
34 locations now. For now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're very ambitious. But I just wanted to give people a bit of, before we start going into your journey in business, I want to give people a bit of an insight that listen to my podcast in what it's like growing up as an Emirati. Because I want to understand more about that myself. Like, what is it actually like being growing up in like Dubai and everywhere like that?
It's a very interesting place to grow up, because while I was growing up, I always was traveling so much. So I have been to 99 countries so far. So I always had a preference to, so I've been to this part in the US. It's not like Dubai. I've been to this place in the UK. It's not like Dubai. So it set us up in a way that is good and bad. That, like, I don't believe, for me personally, again, it's my journey. I don't believe in limitations. I don't believe like doing something small. If you're gonna do something, make it the best, the wowest, the biggest. You know, it's just the mentality of the Dubai thing. You know? This is why the Guinness World Record regional office is in Dubai, because we produce so many records every couple of weeks. You know, so when I started my business was, what can I do that I'm gonna get a Guinness record for? How I'm gonna be the best? How I'm gonna be the first? How I'm gonna be the wowest? How I'm gonna be the most amazing? Otherwise, why even attempt to achieve it?
Yeah. And is that something that's come from your childhood? Because obviously, when you're brought up in Dubai, I suppose you, as an Emirati, you just see mass amounts of abundance and wealth and no limits from day one. Is that kind of how life goes as a child here?
I think up till 98, 99, we were just normal city, normal country. Nothing as crazy it is. It's literally from that year 99 all the way, but not to here. That's when like it wrapped up so fast. So much people coming in, so much money came in, so many new things came in. I think that's when like, we can be all this. You can be all that. You can do this and this and this. That was a very interesting time.
Yeah. It must have been mad though to see that growth phase actually happening.
Oh yeah. Because when you go back and compare it to everywhere else in the world, like, you guys didn't build this yet. You know, it's like I go for 4 months, come back, there's a new bridge, a new building. And it's like, Mom, how do I get to the house now? There's a new a new bridge. How do I get there? So it's very interesting because, again, the thing about this there is no corruption, which makes the government put the money in the country and goes in the country. So building roads, like where we are right now, didn't exist 20 years ago. This whole area, this whole Palm, the Dubai Eye, the Blue Waters, the JBR, this didn't exist. None of this stuff.
So was it a case of like the Emirati family, they kind of decided that they would take the oil money and then invest it in building the best city in the world?
Visionaries. Because like they always travel so much, so like when they travel, they go to Singapore, or go to London, or go to New York. Okay, I like this from here, I like this from here, I like this from here. Let's get the people who built that to build it here, but better.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the vision, you know, having the vision to see things with a different lens. And that's why I always look at, like, it's the lens that you have in your eye that you see things people do not see.
And I presume that's just why people are so happy here, because everything's about looking forward. There's no looking back here. No,
refusing the past is what gets you all this psychological problems. Like accepting what happened, accepting that we are doing what we're doing. Like, you know, we live in a bubble here because it's very funny because everywhere in the world is burning, but here we're just having fun. Literally, the whole world is burning, but in Dubai we're having fun because, like, you know, the system that has been built here, the governors, you know, the whole thing, just it's different.
Was there a bad recession in here?
No.
Like in 2008 when the world was crumbling?
It was, but it wasn't as bad as hit everywhere in the world. There was a lot of like fake news here and there, but like we still survived. We're still here.
Yeah,
you know?
and still building things.
Still building.
So this area that we're in the last 20 years has just been completely regenerated.
Yeah, it was sand.
And obviously they're building another palm on the other side of.
We can see it from here actually. Yeah,
and that's on the other side of that power station over there, isn't it? And what's going on with that?
Don't ask me because they're just gonna make it happen. Because what happened, like, you know, these, like we filled up the whole land, so now they're reclaiming land on water to rebuild there because there's no more land.
Yeah, just like what Singapore did.
Yeah, basically, but much bigger.
But much bigger, much better. Everything's bigger. Everything's better. Course. And how did you get into entrepreneurship? Was that something that was ingrained from your family, or?
Or just like I had to break the chain. I had no choice but to become this guy, because when I had jobs before, like I always have very high performance, so I would break my KPI for the year in the first 2-3 months.
What kind of jobs were you doing?
I used to be an events and project manager for almost 18 years. So I used to be director for projects for F1.
Yeah.
In Abu Dhabi. That was the last job I held, and then no more.
And what was it what was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak?
Oh, so many things. Like there was like 3-4 things happening all in the same moment that, like, okay, I had no choice. So everything for like 18-19 years I was doing that kind of jobs. And the last job came to me, and I was also a professional athlete. So I had like 69 gold medals in weightlifting and triathlons. So the last job came to me, hey, here's a 6-month salary, leave. I was like, because I was, was outspoken, I was Emirati, I was all these things. So like, okay, my next position is like, high, it's going to be a problem. So let's get rid of this guy early. And that's what happened. I thought I'm going to get that job easily. I did 74 interviews, and nobody wanted to take me because my entry level is a director. So, okay, and then I stopped competing, and then one day I was in the gym, started my warm-up, and then slip disc. And then 41 days I'm in bed. So a guy who's always moving, always active. So I was emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially broke. I'm in bed, and the doctor told me it's going to take you 6 months to stand. I refused to believe that's reality. And then I went through therapy for like the first month. I was doing almost 4 times a week, 3 hours every day, sweat and tears, and then I was walking after 2 months.
So I just want to get into your mindset. The mindset of you not accepting the reality that you're in came from you being an athlete, yeah?
I think that's one way of looking at it, yeah. Because the comparative part, the fact I don't want to look at myself as a victim, because victimizing myself and, oh my God, I'm horrible, and then what? It's not going to take me anywhere forward in life. Yeah. So let me figure out a way to control that and have a choice. No, I'm going to work through this, I'm going to do this. And then I started working, and then came with the idea of this whole Aquafun thing. And then remember the first year, I've counted this very well. First year I had 617 rejections. 617. First year. Like I did not make a single dirham the first year. Till literally the last day of the first year.
So when you say 617 rejections, is that rejections on where you can place these water
Everything.
parks?
So I start with like two things. I start with I want to do slides for yachts, and then I wanted to put this on what they call it on the beaches. So I literally opened the map of the UAE. I went to every single beach owner, every single what they call it hotel.
So even the beaches that have owners here.
Nothing. Nobody even could understand the idea. It's like, what do you mean when I put this? No. I want my beach to be quiet. I don't want noise. I don't do every million excuses. So it needs to be this level of like obsession to make it happen. Because most people quit after the third or fourth. No. I went through 617 the first year.
But where did you pull the idea from to put an inflatable aqua park and go and build the biggest one in the world?
That was much later. Because I always remember when I had my sleep desk, I was in bed every day for 20, 23 hours. So all I was consuming just YouTube. I was going through rabbit holes. Literally, I would just go next. And then one time I just saw this like one video of this one content creator that was like, some inflatable. I was, oh, that's fun. What is that? And then I went and saw movies with this guy and then started researching. And then I remember I spoke to the factory. The company was American, and another company was German. I was like, I want to do this. So one company said, you're Arab, and you have no background experience. We won't give it to you. And the other one told me, like, okay, but you need to pay us this and this and this. So basically, be working for them. I was like, what the hell? So I took it upon myself to go, when I started being able to move, I went to China, and I spent a month there, and I met 128 factories. And then I found their factories in China, and then create my own brand. And then eventually I made bigger games than they produced, and then I tagged them in the content, hey, you're not the biggest anymore. It was like, hey.
So you just took their inflatables and what they were building, and you just took it to a whole different level through your own factory.
I redesigned the whole thing. I redesigned everything. Like, for example, I had one game, it's like a massive slide, that was, I think, at that time, 13 meter by 60 meter long. Their slide used to inflate in 20 minutes. Mine used to go up in 2 minutes. So I shaved 90% of the time because, like, no, there is ways. Like, even just now, like, I was with my team on the beach before you come, and it's like, the factory says you can't make these words on the water. And it's like, I beg to differ. Let me prove you wrong. And I do them, and I say to the factory, hey, remember I said it can't happen? Look, it happened. Because they don't have the perspective. They don't have the imagination or like the will or the, at least try. Don't just, it doesn't work because you can't see it. Try.
So from your opinion, then, a lot of people out there have the ability to try and make things happen, but it's just that they're taking on other people's opinions that things can't happen.
Exactly. I always defer to people's opinion. I never listen to it. I never would care for it. I have no hair. I don't care. Just like you.
Yeah.
And because people reflect their insecurities, their fears, their failures towards you. It's like, you can't make it happen. Like, let me show you.
So how do you condition yourself to not take on other people's fears?
Because in the beginning, I became so good at what I do because I failed so many times. So I have found this, the frequency, or like, I fall in love with failing. And that's a very weird understanding. What do you mean you fall in love with failing? Like, my relationship with fear is very healthy. Things that scares me, like, oh, this is crazy. Okay, let's do it. Because what's the worst going to happen? When you think about it, you're not going to die. It's only money, and it's an experience. Because you only call it losing if you quit.
Yeah.
And the genius thing I did all my life is I never quit, no matter how insane and crazy it's been. And it's been crazy.
But when you were brought up, was the obviously you're in good jobs, but was your family wealthy or background wealthy?
One job, my family is very nice, decent, awesome people. but they only had the jobs all their life. So in the first year, 2 years, I was giving them my ear and for their advice. And man, that made me suffer so long and so much and so hard in the business because, again, they come from a mindset of an employee, which means everything is safety controlled, There is no risk like I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the hardest things was like getting, for example, the government to give me the concessions. It's like, what do you mean you want to rent the water? It doesn't even happen. What do you mean rent the water?
Because no one had done it before.
Nothing before. So I was the first one ever done this.
Because everyone else was renting the land and you wanted to rent the sea.
Yeah, it's like, how's that? So like, we figure out a way legally to do it and it's done. It was a hard journey because like people don't understand what we're doing. But that's the whole thing. I always saw it. I knew it's going to work.
And I suppose you had concepts to show them what had been done in other countries.
Yeah, but what I was doing was different. It was in a bigger scale. It was much different and much more elaborate and much more detailed and much more. So I had to remember the first Waterpark, I think 6-7 years ago. I've submitted almost 800 pages that I had to create why this will work. Safety and procedures and how do you do an evacuation in the water. It's like, what the hell?
Because they're things people wouldn't even think of.
Yeah, because like, okay, you want to show them why it will work. But then, now we're here.
And the government, once they're on board once they're on board with what you're saying here, did the government support you being able to facilitate building things that are
yes,
outlandish?
there's a specific level of support, but then I don't depend on that. Like, I really depend on me and my team. Because like, I have this firm belief is like, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
So do it first and then apologize.
Because if you're going to ask and so on, they're going to give you all these obstacles that you do not need. Because again, they reflect their fear and projection of like, okay, this is not going to work. Because again, he's an employee who's like, he's worried about his job. So he's worried to take a risk. But then if I took a risk and it works out, it's like, okay, everything's okay. Okay, then we're good.
So when, obviously, with having this much opulence that you have now and everything you've achieved, you've got all the awards that I'm looking at on the wall here from all the awards you've won, the pieces on the press on the wall and everything else, you must believe in some form of manifestation in order to achieve this level of opulence.
Of course. It's a level between, it's not only that, like, it's faith, it's belief that there is something bigger than you. It's that level of hustle and work ethics is manifestation. Because you can't manifest things and then you also project the freeze on it. No, it's going to work. We're going to find a way. It's going to happen. Because, the intention is out there in the universe. You have to control this, the words you say. Because the words becomes the thoughts, becomes the emotion, becomes a vibration. It goes in the universe and comes back to you. Yeah. So you have to control what you say.
So it's essentially whatever you project out, you're getting back in abundance.
In abundance. And that's one part, and also giving back. So I can give back people my time, my knowledge, my money, philanthropy, charity, all this stuff. So you have to have a balance between this and this. Just take, it's not take anywhere. You gotta find ways to give back.
But how did you first discover that part and piece it together? Because obviously that manifestation part, creating your own reality, that obviously took you out of that job. But was it a case of were you reading books on it? Were you watching YouTube on it? How did you discover all that?
I'm super dyslexic, so reading for me is very linear. But I love knowledge, and I'm very observant. So and I observe a lot of my failures, why they happen, because I always put myself out there. So I do not do comfort. So I always have to test myself and do this. And some people, you're arrogant. No. My confidence comes because I have tested myself so many times, and it's purely because of that. So I observe too much. I learn. I see things a lot. I don't have like a mentor or none of these things. Never had.
So you've never had anyone to lean on, to ask questions?
No. It was just purely me figuring it out.
So would your advice then to the people listening to this is, rather than reading, rather than watching a video, rather than trying to seek a mentor, would your advice be just go and take more action in the world today?
Okay. So theory, practice, failure. Like like you can read about it all you want. It's not gonna be like reality. The problem, see, this is my issue with traditional education. Okay, it's gonna be maybe controversial, but this is how I feel about it. 3 things are wrong there. One teaches you that there's every problem have a one solution. Reality, every problem have multiple solutions. We've moved this to here, to here, to here. It works. Secondly, working with others is called cheating, but in reality, it's called collaboration because this is not gonna happen alone. I need Frankie to come over to do this. It's called collaboration, working together. Thirdly, it shows you that if you do a mistake, it's bad, but that's the way you learn. If success is a door, the key is called failing. And most people are afraid to fail because they're afraid to, say I failed. Because the environment and the culture was like, if you fail, it's bad. But that's how you learn. Till maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I still have people tell me, hey, why are you going to a job? I say, excuse me? It's like, do you understand the level of freedom that I have? That I can create whatever I want to create and just, hey, I go do it. If it goes well, perfect. If it goes bad, it's my L. Guess what? It's not an issue. European Union does not pay my rent.
So why would I take it on?
Exactly. Did you do it? No. So why would you even listen to you?
Yeah, I love it. I love the way that you frame yourself to win.
Yeah.
Because it is a frame. So when you were weightlifting.
Yes.
Weightlifting as an athlete.
Yeah.
What level were you competing at in that?
I was UAE champion 9 years, Arab World champion 2 years.
World champion?
No, Arab World.
Arab World champion.
World champion. So UAE 9 years, universities of UAE 5 years. So I was very competitive.
Was there coaches within your space that instilled this frame into your mind?
No, because that's the whole thing. When I keep looking back at this, and I keep looking for it all the time, was there somebody who inspired me to become this? No. That's the whole thing. There was nobody. Now I have in my team, amazing team, lawyers, business advisors that helped me tremendously. Because I only managed to grow bigger in business when my team became better. Because you have the people who get you from zero to $1 million is one people.
Yeah.
But the people who get you from that 1 million to 10 or 20, it's a different level of people.
Yeah.
So you understand, a lot of people wants to know it all. Yeah, that's cute, but then you're not gonna grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn about the business, but you have to figure out, I'm good in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm bad in this. Okay, the things I'm bad at, let me outsource that. Make enough money so you can give that money to hire somebody so you can do more of what you enjoy so you can make more money.
So in the early days of the aquaparks, were you working within them yourself?
Yes. I was the guy who had the social media, content creating, the build-up, the staff together, the safety, literally everything. The HR, the finance, I was doing everything.
And you just started to outsource things like...
Yeah, I started hiring more people, so on and so on. And now we are 780 staff.
780?
Yeah.
At 34 locations?
Yeah.
And how many more locations could you physically open in this area?
Watch.
How many do you think?
Watch me. I'm doing 5 more Guinness records this next year.
5 more world records?
Yeah.
And what?
I'll show you better. I call you, can hear, bro, come check this out. I'm doing more. I'm doing much more. Yeah. I just finished stretching.
Will you pivot out of aquaparks and go into other things will you own the beach? Will you?
Yeah, actually that's what we're doing too. So it's an awesome pivot. So we have the water park in the water. Let's own the beach, and we switch the beach to become a beach club. So you put your sunbeds, your F&B, your beverages, your music, the pool, your merchandising, and you have the water park too also.
So essentially then what you've done is you've put aquaparks on other people's beaches, and then you're using the cash flow from the aquaparks to fund you purchasing the ownership of the beaches that you're now going to put beach clubs on.
Exactly. And also the best thing what I do, because we design, produce, and own, so we can also build water parks on land. I don't have to have the beach. So I have inflatables supposedly on the land. So I can build a 60 by 40 meter steel frame pool and put the obstacles on top of it and have this massive slides and massive inflatables, but in steroids, much bigger.
Yeah,
For me, it's all about an emotion. For me, I understand very well the emotion because, for example, I'm in the business of creating happy memories. So how do you create happy memories? It's like I imagine myself as a kid. I walk in, what do I want to see? What's going to make me as a kid who's 5, 6 years old go, wow, daddy, I want to go there. And I built on that.
Yeah.
You know, the smells, the music, the feel, all these things I take into consideration.
And it's all about the brand and how you conceptualize that, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. It's an emotion. Because we are beings who are emotional. You know? So you don't have to overdo it. Just keep it simple.
So what's your advice to business owners that are listening to this that want to create more emotion and more emotional attachment to their brands?
Real. Just be real. Like, okay, how would you sell this to you? How would you sell this to your, you know, a 4 or 5 years old? You have to have a conversation like from outside. Because the problem is like when you're too attached to a brand and like, you know, perfection is not about insecurity. You cannot have everything perfect. Like when I look back at what I was doing like 4 or 5 years ago, I look at it now, I was like, wow, that was disgrace. But because I grew through it, you know, there's a process, you know, but you have to start somewhere. You know, the problem is like we overthink things. You overthink things way too much.
Do you have a process then? So when you obviously wake up in the morning, do you have a process of a way that you even live in this world that allows you to not start overthinking? Because people, when they wake up on a normal day-to-day, they look at their phone and they're already overthinking about the emails that they've got or the problems that they've got in their business or their girlfriend's breaking up with them or this. How do you remove all that so that you're not overthinking from when you wake up in the morning?
What can you control, what you can't control? Because things that happen, you can't change them. They happen. Okay, you can only figure out now and the future.
Yeah.
The future can be built through process and steps. It's like, okay, you have a goal. Don't say you have a dream. My goal is, not my dream is. Dreams are just thoughts. Goals, okay, you can break them down to steps. I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 50 steps, and I'm there in my goal. Every time when I won all the awards and the articles, I wasn't even surprised. Everybody was surprised, and I'm the only person in the room.
Because you knew.
Because I knew it was going to happen. Because I put the work. I already put the work in. Like, I remember when I won the 2 awards, the Entrepreneur of the Year and the Emerging Business of the Year. I didn't even put that I was even attempting it or I was a finalist. My team said, "Mohammed, you're a finalist." No. It's like, why? I will win them both. It's like, nobody ever wins both. It's like, no. I'm winning both. Because I know nobody could outwork me. Because I was still putting 100 hours every week. Who's out there doing 100 hours a week? Nobody.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And I won both. I was a nobody. Who the hell is this guy working alone in the event? And it comes out with 2 of the biggest awards. Because like I knew it was going to happen. There was no doubt in myself in whatsoever that I'm going to get them.
Does this relentless approach to success in everything that you've had success in? Obviously, you've had success in terms of financial abundance. You've had success in business, but does this relentless pursuit of success cost you relationships with women? Does it cost you relationships with other people? Does it cost anything in your personal life?
It does to an extent because you vibrate differently now. Your vibration becomes totally different. Your approach in life is different. Your self-awareness and self-respect and confidence is different now. And it makes you, how to put this, like I don't allow clowns in my life and they complain my life is a circus.
I love that. That is the best quote.
You know,
I don't allow clowns in my life because I don't want my life to be a circus.
Yeah, because like, you know, like I know what I can provide. It's like if you're not the same vibration or same energy, you're gonna, and for me, it's very important. You know, so like yes, I don't have a circle. I have very few people that I speak to. If we're not growing, learning, building, making money, I don't want you around me.
Yeah,
purely because it's a choice.
So, do you believe then that the people that surround you? Because another entrepreneur told me this that the people around you should make money with.
Absolutely. If we're not making money together, what are we doing? It's about the money. That's what a brokey would say.
Yeah.
Because, see, money is not the goal. It's just one of the tools. Family, relationships, that's more important than anything else in your health. But it's important to, if you want to change the world, you can change with just love. You need to have wealth.
Yeah.
So you can influence things to happen.
Yeah.
I can't feed thousands of families with some love and some likes. No. I need to work my ass off, make money so I can feed them.
Well, it's even like Mother Teresa. She people will go, well, she healed the world with love and did things like this, but no, she had a massive amount of wealth that was being constantly given to her.
Exactly.
For her to be able to touch the world in the way that she touched the world.
People don't know that. People don't understand that. Yes, that was the facade, but you think she moved and built houses and built schools with love? No. There was people, like you said, funding that.
Yeah.
Massively.
Because she had a vision.
Yeah.
She sold the vision to other people.
Exactly.
And other people funded her vision.
Exactly.
Like that we live in an economic world, and when people say that money's not important, it basically shuts down your neurological centers to be able to create wealth in your life.
And this whole thing about, like, I don't believe in saving. I don't believe, no. Because again, there's first inflation, high, hello. Because like you put the 100,000 becomes 90,000. You know, that's number one. Number two is like, you gotta invest the money. I only made my wealth when I actually started investing. So the more money I used to, literally I was emptying my accounts twice a month. 2 reasons. One, I want to be investing it. I want to grow. Secondly, it always keeps me hungry again. Because when your account is like now, only 5,000. Okay, I need to push more to make more. Even though that I just emptied millions. No, I want to push more.
Isn't it a bit of a worry here, though, emptying your account? Because in the Western world, people don't want to empty their account anyway in any part of the world. But in the Western world, if people empty their account and they get in debt, there's not really many problems with that. But in Dubai, when you get into debt, there's problems. There's prison. Mm-hmm. You can't be in debt here.
Yeah, but then don't get in debt.
So you just literally risk it for a chocolate biscuit.
Big biscuit, big factory biscuits.
but you
understand this, see? Because that's the whole thing. See, there is two ways to look at this. Or I'm gonna fail, or I'm gonna succeed. So you attract the outcome.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
because there is two sides of the coin. I can look at this. Oh, it's a black mic, but guess it's a big penthouse. You choose what you want to look at.
You choose where you focus your vision,
because it's going to come back to you,
and you draw that in essentially.
It's calculated risk. Yes, empty. Oh, it's crazy. It's like, yeah, but I do have investments that if I want to liquidate, I can liquidate. But then we're not going to even think or consider of failing. Plan A will work. We're going to make it work.
Yeah.
You know?
So you don't like having cash in the bank. You want it to be working out there. Yeah. You want capital out there, in the marketplace.
Exactly.
So at what kind of point in time do you become uncomfortable because you got that much money in the bank? You like, right, we have to build a water park. We have to build this. Do you know what I mean?
When as little as $500,000, that bothers me. Bothers the hell out of me. So that money is sitting down there losing value.
Yeah.
And I take that money. Because again, we became so good in doing what we're doing that we usually break even within 60, 70 days. So every location we built, 60, 70 days, we break even. So that $500,000 come back to me in 6, 7 days and then just making me multiple returns within a year.
So you can spin your cash round for like a 400% return per year.
Easily. Minimum. That's the minimum number.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing, because the approach is different.
Yeah.
The approach, and that's the issue. Like, we spoke about. It's like, yeah, so don't get in debt.
So when you started, what kind of money did you start with in the bank? Completely broke. Okay, so then you generated. How did you generate? Just selling.
Sell. I have no partners, nobody, no bank loans, no backing from a family or none of these things. It's all self.
Because people in the Western world like me would assume, by looking at everything that you've got, that because you were born here, you were born into wealth. Because that's what we assume.
No.
There
is parts of my family that are very wealthy, but I never took money from anybody. I worked my ass off of everything. Like a lot of times, okay, so this is the numbers. Last decade that I've been doing this, I was bankrupt twice.
Bankrupt?
Twice. actually minus, and I was sued 18 times.
Sued
18 times. Every time I got sued, my reaction was, okay, let's open another park. Because I have to throw in a different energy at this to balance.
Yeah, so if something bad's happening in your life, you have to balance it with the positive energy to get yourself out of the situation. Yeah. So, but when you go bankrupt in Dubai, isn't that illegal?
It's not, okay, so basically what happens is, like, technically, because, okay, to put it this way, going through project fails so miserably that the money becomes zero and then you own so much money. Yeah. There was one part, I remember I was owning 2 million. And I had to walk through it, pay it off slowly. Why paying everybody else? Like so many times that I wasn't paying myself anything.
Yeah.
Zero. So many times, months and years, I wasn't paying myself anything.
It'd be so easy to quit though when you owe 2 million.
Oh yeah. And literally every month I will go back to my people that I owe money in the companies. It's like, guys, I would always renegotiate every single thing. So then my paybacks went from 100,000 to 50,000 to 25,000 to 10,000.
Yeah. So you could keep the cash in the business.
Yeah. I'm just listen. Either I pay you this small amounts and I continue paying you, or I pay you nothing and then I go to jail. You get no money. And it works eventually.
If you get into debt in Dubai and you do go to jail for the debt, say you go to jail for the 2 million.
Yeah.
How does it even work in terms of getting out of jail? Can you? Because I presume here you're not even allowed out of jail till you've paid the 2 million back, right?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Because there's different. Because me as an Emirati and a Western is different things. You know, some people like you need to go through the jail time and then you gotta pay it back or you gotta stay in jail. I don't know how the rule is exactly. Because like, I'm not gonna give you an opinion on something I don't know. But I don't even think about that way.
Yeah,
because I'm smart enough to find a way to make it happen. That's the whole thing. Like, I believe so much in myself that no, I'm gonna find a way, and that comes to that relationship between me and myself. So your self-confidence is a self thing, and it's your reputation between you and you. So if I say I'm gonna say something, I'll do something, I'm gonna go do it. Like yesterday, I was talking to one of my good friends, Walid, and literally he goes like, "You told me exactly you're gonna do these things 6 months ago, and you do it step by step." It's like, yes, I'm not gonna say things and not do them. Because the warrior within me will hear that. It's like, Because anything you say, he will hear it. And it's like, if you say you're awesome, he'll believe it. If you say you're shit, he'll believe it.
Yeah, so you are exactly what you tell yourself
exactly. So that's why my confidence is so high. Because like every time I say something, I did it. Every time I want to do something, I'll go at it till I finish it. And that's why I'm this way.
It's just your whole life, ever since your time as an athlete, has been just in the relentless pursuit of becoming 1% better, 1% better,
Always.
1% better, 1% better. I mean, when we looked out the window earlier to look at your water park, I was like, that's amazing. And you were like, no, you haven't seen anything yet. Like you want, I could just see in your eyes that you want more.
Yeah,
and it's kind of how I feel about what I do here. It's like I'm always trying to, upgrade the cameras, upgrade the lighting, upgrade everything I'm doing because I want more. It's like when we were setting up and I checked 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I know. And
it's just that is what you need to be able to.
Exactly. You have to fall in love with the process. Like we said, it's all about the process. People are upset with it. Oh, you have this and this. Like, yeah, but if I told you what I had to pay for it, you're not going to pay it.
Yeah.
Because they think it's easy. It's not easy.
And you're not just talking about what you've paid on the financial front. You're talking about the time, the late nights, the stress levels. You're talking about all the other pay things that people aren't willing to pay in.
I remember years ago, like I would leave my office 4 a.m. and I would get angry if I see any other cars in the parking lot. And then I call the security and say, hey, who's that? What car? Who's this? I know, sir, this car is broken down. Okay. Because I cannot fathom the idea of somebody is outworking me. I leave the office 4 a.m, I reach home, sun is up, I sleep 3-4 hours, at it again.
Do you think you'll ever get to the point in life where you not take the foot off the gas in terms of like stop, but in terms of like get to the point where you wind down the work ethic? Is there a goal in your mind? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 billion, whatever it might be. Is there a monetary goal and a point where you say, do you know what? I've achieved everything, and I just want to focus now on, i.e., building a family or something like that.
So I have this urgency to achieve. Urgency to achieve things now, to express love now, because I'm a promise tomorrow. I enjoy and love the unknown a lot. Like I have this thing that the goals have to terrify me to excite me.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. I think now for me is more of less work down there in the operation level and more let's get the new location, let's sell this new, let's figure up new ideas to create more bigger things. I enjoy what I do a lot. I don't do things I don't like. I don't work with people I don't like. So I don't have this urge, I need for the weekend. I don't have that feeling ever, which is weird. It's what do you mean? But you have to have a weekend. It's I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. And guess what? We're chilling in my house. Do you feel calm and peaceful in my house?
Yeah.
And because that's the energy of me, Because if I was somebody who's stressed, you would feel the stress in my house.
Yeah.
That's one. Number two, guess what? Every month I fly somewhere. Every month. I have to fly somewhere. At least for 4 or 5 days.
Just to experience
Exactly. I'll go see friends. I try to see something new. And I'm flying next week. I'm flying next week for almost 10 days. For 3 countries. But that's how I like to distress maybe. If I'm stressed. But yeah, I think that's my answer for that.
Literally, it all comes down to this relentless vision that you have to keep recreating yourself.
Yeah.
The one thing I love about everything you said today is you are happy to burn your old self down in order to build the new self every time. And it's not just happening on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or a yearly basis. This is happening on a daily basis. You're out there and you're questioning, okay, how can we do this better? How can we do this bigger? How can I turn up better to the world? How can I move my energy different? How can I attract more into my life? Yeah. That's a bulletproof mindset to have, isn't it?
But that's something. All the wars in the world are literally won and lost between your ears. The space. Everything is here. You won and lost here. I'm the champion or the winner here. First.
It's all in the mind.
You have to. This is a beautiful, amazing tool, but people are not using properly.
So how can people take control of their mind and curate the life and of abundance that they want?
Okay, so most of us lie to ourselves. You're shit, you're horrible, la 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 la. Okay, fine. That lie became the truth. To change that, you gotta repeat that over and over again the other way around. No, I'm amazing. You can't say it once a day. No, it have to be a constant thought. It has to be, yes, I got this, I got this, I got this. And then that thought becomes from okay, now it's a lie. Because your truth now, you're shit or you're bad. So now the new lie you're telling yourself that, okay, I'm amazing, I got this. That lie you're going to keep telling it to yourself till it becomes a merit. Maybe there's something there. And then it becomes the new truth of who you are.
Yeah.
So most people, when they talk to themselves, I always ask people, are you your best friend or are you your worst critic? Everybody says, I'm my critic. I always talk to myself this way. It's I'm my best. It's no. If you have a best friend, how are you with them? You're supportive, you're nice, you're there for them. You should be more than that to yourself.
So treat yourself essentially with the self-love that you'd want to treat your best friend.
Exactly. You have to do that. I am my biggest hype man. Inside, I'm always high-fiving myself. Yeah!
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing, because you can't be in the war with yourself and the world. You gotta choose one.
Yeah.
You can't be, it's exhausting.
Well, the world's already going to find enough people to go against you, so you don't want to be against yourself as well.
You shouldn't do that. Every time I've dramatically grew, I was put in a corner that everything against me I have to fail, but I went in my head, it's no, we got this. And then 2 hours later, I come with the most ridiculous idea that propels me 10 times bigger. Because the relationship between me and myself is that way.
Yeah. So it's a relationship with yourself then that comes with unconditional love for yourself that allows you to facilitate this growth.
Because it's called self-love, self-respect, self-esteem. It's a self thing.
Yeah.
It's not things. It's within you.
So that is the key then. That is the key to everything that you've done is to find yourself first, to give yourself that love.
Yeah, it's all about, it's that level of, I won't call it selfishness or selflessness. It's like, okay, that, like when you play a game, any game, what's the most important character? It's player number one. You. So you got to protect player number one with everything possible. That's why I don't allow things around me. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. Because what's the ROI? Zero. I don't even drink coffee or energy drinks. I'm always water or,
Up until a few weeks ago, I drank energy drinks, but I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I don't touch drugs, I don't have no time for that, I don't go out to nightclubs, I don't party.
And that's why you get propelled so high and so fast than anybody else, because it's that level of focus. It's called focus, focus, focus. It's only, like, we have all these cameras here. If the cameras are shaking all day, we're going to be very blurry, because it's focused. Same thing with life. You got to be focused.
Did you ever have caffeine in your life?
I had 18 years ago.
Right. And why is it that you remove caffeine?
Dependencies. I don't want to be dependent on anything.
And obviously
the only thing I'm dependent on is me.
So everything you kind of looked at your life at that point, and anything that you felt dependent on, you removed.
Yeah, because that time I remember I used to be having a job that time, sad days, and I had in one day I think 6 double espressos back to back, plus my other 5 or 8 coffees of that day. So I was like shaking. I was like, I'm gonna let something control me that way. And then next 4 days, I drank just water. And then I switched into tea, which was disgusting because from a coffee taste, it's strong to a tea.
Yeah.
And then since then, I'm more focused, more fresh. I don't have this peaking up and down crashes. I don't have none of these things.
Since I got off caffeine, my life has changed dramatically.
100%.
I was, because I don't do any of the other drugs, my get out, and in order for me to taste, to obviously like to go and attract temporary highs into my life, I'd go smash one Monster and then another Monster and then another Bang energy drink and then a Red Bull, and then all of a sudden it got to like 4 a day, and then I was stressed and I was angry and my adrenals were fucked and I couldn't
energy.
Energy,
bro. Energy.
And what people don't realize with energy drinks is energy drinks actually kill your natural energy. They kill your testosterone, which makes you as a man, it will make you very uninterested in training and
a lot of things else. A whole lot of things, exactly. Have you heard of this story of the buffaloes in the rain? So because you talk about monsters, so in the forest jungle, there's a big cloud coming, rain cloud coming. Buffaloes will see that. Most animals' reaction will run away from it. Buffaloes run through it because they believe that when you go through the storm, you will have less rain going through it. But you can't outrun the storm because you always catch up and it's going to be above you all the time. And the same thing with life. You have to face the monsters head on. You can't just run away from it. It's going to catch up. The more you run away, the more you feel this monster becomes bigger and bigger and bigger monster. That's why I always head on every time confrontation. It's like, you have confrontation. It's like, no, I just rather go through it now, quickly, fast, than just sit down and think it just be following me all day.
Yeah.
I have a problem, in 6 months from now, okay, 6 months from now, we'll deal with it. Like I have a date, this thing's going to happen, okay, fine, we'll build up from now 6 months because a lot of things will happen. Because it takes 1 minute to change your life. One action will change your whole life. So there's so many moments from now that 6 months for life will change. Data, connections, people, information, mindset, a lot of things can change. So why worry about it now? Worry is nothing but a waste of imagination. You're creating all the scenarios in your head that might and might happen. Because in reality, maybe not even 2% of what you imagine will happen.
Yeah.
Because we'll deal with it. When it happens, we'll deal with it.
Because we can put ourselves into a whole different problem that potentially never existed in the first place and isn't even your reality now.
Yeah, you're just creating a catastrophe in your head that doesn't even exist. It's like, what did you just do to yourself?
And how many people do you think live in this catastrophe?
So many victimizing themselves, finding themselves through just, okay, it happened. The thing is, like, it's all about acceptance. The problem is, like, we do not accept our past or our present or the future. That's why you have people who are depressed and the people who are upset or angry or stressed out with anxiety, because they haven't accepted what happened.
Yeah.
I lost this much money. I accept what happened. It's done.
So what were some of the things that you've had to heal and accept in your life?
So many things. So many, again, failures, people, relationships. Okay, this is what happened.
But what were some of the hardest things that you had to accept?
So many, bro. So many. But in the micro, it looked painful, but in the macro, it was the right thing. And I am a very firm believer that there is always bigger things coming to me. I have a very strong faith with God. When I pray, I hear back my prayers. I know exactly it's coming to me. I think that was the biggest part when, like, I start really having proper faith.
How much has faith played in this whole success journey?
Big time. Because that faith gave me the belief and that push that no matter how crazy it will be, it's going to pass.
So is faith then when you know you have an internal knowing that it's coming but you can't see it yet, and belief is once it's in the reality?
Yes. Because also, like, it's like you have this lens. You will see things that no one else will see.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I saw this before it happened.
Yeah.
Like, everything I've done, I saw it happening beforehand.
When you saw it, do you see it in a meditation? Do you see it on a vision board? Do you see it when you're praying? How do you see it?
Literally, it would be like that level of, like, okay, it's the first thing I think of in the morning, the last thing I think of in the morning. Through the day, I would just go in my head and see it, imagine it.
Yeah.
There's, like, no doubts. Like, I don't put any obstacles or doubts in front of my face on my path that, okay, this might not happen. No, it's going to happen.
And how much has that fast-tracked it coming into your reality?
It might terrify people. Like this place, 10 days later, I got it.
What? So you had...
There was nothing. I spoke to 20... I remember I spoke to maybe 20 agents, brokers. Sir, there's nothing like this here. No, I saw it. It's going to happen. No, there's nothing. And literally, 10 days later, I just, start looking at myself and, like, found it, got it, done. The business, same thing. Every location I got, I already imagined it. Okay, it's going to happen.
So you decided that in your reality there was going to be a penthouse on the marina that was free, that you could rent, you could...
Yeah, and the view would be my water park and sunset.
Right.
10
days later.
10 days later. And that's long.
So I presume then, the more you become aware, the more connected you become to drawing things into your life, as you have, the shorter the time frame becomes as well.
Yeah. Law of attraction, that's how it works. You can only attract, you attract things all the time.
So describe then to me, what is the fundamental thing with the law of attraction that most people miss, which separates them from what they want to attract?
Fear. Because you cannot want to attract, because again, it's not about things. Because for me, it's not about just a thing, it's about the emotion. It's about a state. It's not just about things, I want this watch or this car. That's not how it works. Yeah, that's nice. It works easily, but that's not the ultimate goal of that. Because most people, let's say, I want to be this person. I want to be the entrepreneur of the year. Yeah, but there's other people who are stronger than me. But there's people who are maybe this. You sub between all the other reasons why it's not going to work. I don't look at that stuff. I never do. Okay, what do I have control on? Okay, it's me. That's it.
You take back your sovereignty.
That's it. This is the only thing I control of. The only variable in the whole equation I can control is myself. So I control this one. Let me make sure this one kills everything else. Because the equation, there is things you can't control. But this is the only thing I control is myself. Okay, fine. So I'm going to put the work, the energy, I'm going to submit, I'm going to do the interviews, I'm going to do all these things that I need to do for myself, I can control, to do that. Because the whole thing, you worry about things you cannot control. Yeah, there's obstacles. I understand there's a lot of obstacles and somehow things are hard for people, but again, that's on you.
Yeah.
And that's on you. Like I understand how to become broke. Like I know how it feels to have minus in millions, and I know how to have 8 figures. I know both things very well.
Yeah.
But the only thing, I'm the same man.
And because you've raised your standard and you raised your reality, when you talk about money, it's like, and when you were talking about the bank account earlier, and I don't want any more than $500,000 left in the account, and you're like, and that to a lot of people seems out of reach, but to you, because you've set your bar so high, that's not a lot of money to you.
No. But that's the whole thing. You can shoot to the moons. If you're going to miss, you can hit the stars. You have to have something that you can aspire to, because everything could happen. You can follow, again, see, like when it comes to business, that day I was trying to give somebody advice about this, like finding the passion and so on and so on. Okay, nice to have a passion. But you make money from one of 3 things. Something you're passionate about, something you know so much about, or an opportunity. Yeah. 3 people are lucky to have 2 of them, and the luckiest are have 3 things at the same time. So it's an opportunity that you know so much about and you're passionate about. That's amazing. So the problem is people don't want to ask for help. They think they got it all, and you don't. I want to do it myself. See, that comes back to schooling. You think that you're supposed to do it alone. But no. I only managed to grow my business from 1 to 34 with growing a really good team. Yeah, but some people, I understand people is not going to be like you. That's your ego talking. Your ego will always slow you down.
So how have you gone about dissolving your ego? Because when we're all born, and as we go through young child life, we get a fundamental ego from the school system.
Absolutely.
How did you go about dissolving that and understanding your own ego?
Bunch of things. One, I realized I was wasting so much energy wasted on how I want people to portray me and talk to me and approach me and so on and so on. I want to be looking this way and so on. So I was like, what am I doing? And then I realized that this all doesn't matter. Because it hit me hard when I was on bed with my slip disc 10 years ago. That I thought hundreds and thousands of people were interacting with me on a daily basis and so on and so on. I was like, nobody's talking to me because nobody cared. I was like, okay. So I was wasting all this energy and time for people that actually don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then I understand eventually that, okay, I have an ultimate goal. I want to be all this. This is my way, let's remove it. Yes, most probably the staff that I have, some of them will not do the exact job, but guess what? They can do 60% of the job. You create manuals and steps and so on and so on and give them the power. And then it's going to work out.
Then hand it off.
Exactly.
But it just amazes me how clear you are on how you got to turn up, how you got to operate, and how you got to move in order to get to where you got to get to.
It's called disciplines.
So,
because you can't be motivated all the time or inspired all the time. Disciplines, I don't feel like going, but you gotta go.
So do you have systems in your own life that you follow? So like daily routines and
surprisingly, no. Like there's specific things that I do on a daily basis, small things, but nothing like my days are different. Like today I have you and I have 2 more podcasts and then I have to do this and this and this. And tomorrow is my birthday. I have nothing planned and I don't really care about it because I have other things more important to do. Like literally every year for the last 8 years, I think like I'd be surprised. Oh, it's my birthday. My staff remind me, hey, it's your birthday. Here's a cake. Let's celebrate with you. because I'm just so focused on what I'm doing that is just another day for me. Like February this year was the first time I took a day off after 59 months. So almost 5 years. Nothing at all. Christmas, New Year, birthday, Eid, weekend, I'm on.
So not even these 5-day holidays that you have.
Oh, what's that? That's for peasants. I don't understand weekends. For me, just okay. Weekends means okay, more work on the beach. I spend more time with the family. But that's about it.
So I suppose what you're saying is you've fallen so in love with the life that you actually live that you don't need to leave it and you don't need to holiday away from it.
No.
The word holiday, in essence, then what you're saying is the word holiday means that you need a break from a life that you don't love.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So a holiday, in essence, then is poverty kind of thing because it's taking you away.
Because like, no, I want the weekend. It's like, that's what peasants say. That's what people who is like, you are escaping your reality that you hate so badly and so much that you want a weekend to discharge and go, do your dumb things. Oh, but you need sometimes to de-stress. So let me go back one step. Why are you stressed? Why are you escaping?
Because you don't like your life.
Exactly. So find something. Oh, but life is hard. You got to pay your rent. Okay, fine. Then start. Don't complain to me about it. Start hustle. Because you work 9-10 hours a day. What are you doing next day? Scrolling aimlessly on social media? I have no empathy or sympathy for you about that. Don't complain about me. Life is hard and you being drunk. It means nothing to me. What are you doing to change it? Okay, finish your work. You can start a hustle in the evening, 4 or 5 hours, and sleep the rest of the day if you want to. Start a hustle if you start it, but it's slow. It's like, okay, put some more energy, focus on it a little bit more. It's gonna grow into something bigger, and then you can leave your sad, pathetic job and then get that. But don't come and complain to me about this. Either you change how you look at it or change your life.
If people focused, what would you say would be the minimum amount of time that they could go from working a job that they didn't like until having something that could provide them with income to replace it?
Focus is a very valuable thing from person to person. It's not only focus, it's about hustle. It's about belief.
Yeah.
Like I managed to open the same business in a bunch of countries that have different cultures and different behavior and different people because it's hustle. I went and have nobody there. I walk in, I ask people who is what. I found one person, second person, third person, referral, and then within 2-3 days, guess what? I'm with the Prime Minister. How did that happen? Nothing. I asked people. I asked a fisherman. He put me to his boss put me to his boss, put me to another bigger guy, who put me to another bigger guy, to put me with somebody who works for the minister, and then eventually I got Prime Minister in 2 days. How that happen?
Of what country?
Never mind. Yeah. Seychelles. But that's the whole thing, because you asked.
Yeah.
I was literally in a boat, asked the fisherman, how do I find this person? I don't know that person, but I know this person. He might lead you this. And literally, within 2 days, I was in a meeting with him.
And it all came from you having the belief and just taking action on
dare to
ask the question.
Yeah, dare to ask.
I mean, how many people out there are not asking the questions, not only of themselves, but of others?
Yeah, because they're scared of failure. And then you get people asking questions, but they're asking what questions? You don't want to convert that question into actual reality. Yeah. You just ask for the sake of just asking. It's like, no. I have a specific goal that I need to accomplish it now. How to get that goal as fast as possible.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be lazy but fast.
And shortening the gap between your current reality and your curated reality is just you asking the right people the right questions. Yeah. Because it actually, when you break it down, doesn't just come down to money plays an important part, but it's not actually money that stops you doing a lot of things.
Oh, no, nothing. It's you.
It's
100% you.
Yeah.
It's not like bro. Okay, this is a real story. 6 years ago, when I wanted to put the first one here, I was 780,000 dirhams in debt. And then the project cost almost 2 million. And I'm in negative, obviously. And I managed somehow, some way to get, I was working in an event, and then they show my badge, Ahmed, Aquafun. It's like, what do you do, Aquafun? I'm the owner. I want to talk to you. And then like, okay. And then there was the biggest German company who does these things back in the days. And then we have this new concept that we can do this. Okay, immediately open my phone. Can you do me the logo of Dubai as a water park? I was like, yeah, we can. Show me design. Then I went to the guys here on the beach. Hey, I want to do this project. So, okay, here's a contract. And then went back to the factory. Hey, I have a location, which is the hardest thing. Give me this for free, or give me installment. It's like, no, we never do this. I have the location. This will be amazing promotion for you, and so on and so on. And eventually, 3-4 weeks of negotiation, they've sent me the assets for free. I was paying installments. After a month, so in that month we went viral. We got 180 million views. People go, oh my God, it's amazing. It's Dubai doing this and this. People think it was the government. No, it was just me alone doing it. And the government came to me, Dubai Municipality. Hey, what are you doing here? It's like, I have a contract. It's like, it's our land. It's like, what? So I went to the Emirates that time. It's like, this. Okay, get the contract from them. Deduct rent from this and this. So I'm paying 2 rents now. So then that's when the cases happened, and then I lost everything. I was in war between the biggest developer and the government, alone. And it's like, watch this. Nobody wants to take the case because everybody's scared because it's the government and this. It's like, till one lawyer says, you are so right. They conned you. They frauded you. Let's go at them. And we went to war. And then after getting all that done, and we got the contracts and so on, that month, so that 3 months, I became even minus more. So I was like minus 3 million now. But then I remember it was end of March. So end of March till May, I've covered all my debts.
Wow.
Genius thing, I never quit.
So it is literally the choice to quit that leaves you still
everything, everybody, every single human around me, every reason telling me, get a job. Okay, bend. Go to jail for a year, come out. It's like, no. I'm never scared of any creature. Only the creator.
Yeah.
That's it. We breathe the same air.
How much has believing in something bigger than yourself impacted you and moved you through life as well?
Big. Huge. That's the only way to live.
Yeah. Because I kind of figured out only about 3 months ago. See, I've done in my life. Obviously, I was brought up as a Christian. Obviously, went to church and all that stuff, and then obviously saw some of these wars and some of these other, and went away from it like that. But I realised about 3 months ago, after going through all this, that you need a belief in something bigger than yourself. Otherwise, you'll always feel like there's a part missing from your life.
Exactly.
You'll never feel whole or at home until you have that.
Because when you're down on your knees, that's a perfect position for you to pray. Because life becomes so heavy, you fall on your knees as a man. As a man, when things get heavy, you fall on your knees because you can't carry it anymore on your back. And that's a perfect space for you to pray. Because you have to be, you have to give that somebody bigger than you.
Yeah.
Who created you. And that's how it worked for me. That's my journey.
There has to be something bigger than you in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you exist then?
I mean, science saying that you're created by a big bang and this, that, and the other, but when you look at humanity as a whole and how perfect humans are and how everything works out, it's like there's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah, exactly. We come from monkeys. Okay, so why we still have monkeys? It's like, come on, there's just things that like when you just try to question that logic becomes like, what?
Yeah.
I don't have that problem at all, so it's good.
Yeah, and it's like you don't have to justify what you believe in, but you have to believe in something bigger than yourself.
I was gonna say it's like like sometimes like I have this thing that I call liquid gold. As I mentioned earlier, I am super dyslexic, so I don't learn by reading. I'm very visual and I'm very communicative. So like I can sit down with and in my house here, literally every week I will have 2 or 3 people who are much bigger than me, athletes, artists, millionaires, billionaires, tech guys, crypto guys, religious people, rabbis, and like conversations open up for 3-6 hours here. Just like this. Candles on, background music, 6 hours of just going through every single rabbit hole. The amount of information I learned that and downloaded in my head in that 3-6 hours, amazing. Another thing I do is like I'll find people who are like experts in their field. So I had this doctor, I think a week ago. She's an expert in a specific field in psychology. I've researched and she was the best. I've called her, Dr. So-and-so. Hi, my name is this. I heard that you are the best in this. Yes, thank you very much. I have a question for you. It's like, what? How much do you make a month? So, excuse me, just entertain me, please. She said, I make 50K. How about if I pay you this for one day? It's like, what? What for? It's like, I would like for you to come and meet me and talk about what you've learned in the last 20 years. And then after a couple of minutes talking, okay, fine, we're agreeing on that. I give her a month time. So this doctor, for the whole month, she's making notes of what she learned for the last 20 years. She comes to the house, we talk for 2 hours about nothing else. Everything else, sorry. So we talk about family, travel, energies, music, travel, and then we start talking about this. She talks, I download for 4 or 5 hours. Finishes off. I've learned what she practiced for 20 years in 4 hours. And then I give her offer the money. It's like, I don't want the money anymore because the fact you ask for my knowledge means a word for me. And I repeat this every week, 2-3 times. So I sit down people like you, people who are different fields, and I learn from them. So that's how I observe life. You know, and sometimes I had once this awesome, amazing rabbi, and we just talked about religions. I had a guy who's Sikh. We sat down. We basically had the same thoughts, just different name for gods. Same thing, because again, it's about humanity. It's about, you know, because Islam, for example, there's almost less than 100 verses that talks about worship. The rest is all about relationships between humans and stories. I'm a firm believer in being kind. Be kind. Be human to each other. That's what takes me everywhere. How do you think I got where I got? I'm just kind to people. I'm nice to people. Genuinely nice.
Yeah.
Genuinely interested with people. It's like, I want to know who you are. What do you do? I laugh with people a lot. Just be a good human. Like that art, we'll say it in the Bureau of the World, that says the word unity in humanity. We forgot that part of being human.
Yeah, yeah. And that's in Arabic.
That's in Persian and in Mandarin.
And in Mandarin.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So there's every piece of art in your home.
Some of them are like, you know, we'll talk. Yeah, some of them are, and some are just like, you know,
But there's
different things.
But there are pieces in here that have immense meaning.
Like absolutely. Yeah, of course.
And obviously, this is quite a famous.
Yeah, just vandalism there, and there's like work hard, hustle hard, and my certificates there, and like there's like things, you know, that have moments. Because life is about moments.
And when are you gonna take a moment to kind of sit and realize what you've done?
But is this again this level of like more? It's not enough, and I don't know why I'm like this. I just always want to do more. This is again the urgency to achieve.
What is the more in service of though?
I don't want to be noticed. I want to be remembered. It's different. I don't think of things like I want this or this. No, I want this and this. Like I don't want to look back 5 years from now. I wish I pushed more. No, I'm going to push more now.
Yeah.
Because I want to have that level of freedom in 5 years from now to do other things.
What do you want to be doing in 5 years?
So many things. What I'm doing next year will scare people.
Yeah, but there must be something really big if you're thinking in 5 years.
Yeah, because again, because I am growing on a daily basis, and I like to always outgrow myself. Like I would have like a 5-year plan, but I try to get it done in 6 months.
I reckon a lot of times that your 5-year plans don't take longer than 12 months to do anyway.
Way less.
Because I think as humans we give ourselves too much time to achieve certain things.
It's good sometimes, like for certain people, it's good to give them that because it gives them enough wiggle. But for me, like nah. Like every year when I start the year, okay, I put a 10x plan. 1,000%, like yeah. I don't do 1,000%, but I usually do 800%, which is still mind blowing.
But if you hadn't have set the 10x plan, then you wouldn't have achieved the 8.
Exactly. Most people think, let's do a 5%, 10%. Like, what? 2, 1 digit?
Well, in every other country except Dubai, if you did do 5%, you're actually going backwards because inflation's fucked you.
Exactly. So
do you know what I mean? So probably Dubai's probably the only country in the world where you could probably do 5% and still be ahead.
Yeah, but I don't believe in small moves.
It's great how this country's set up for entrepreneurs to win.
See, yes, it is, but just because you have the title of entrepreneur doesn't make you one. Because people now attract with the name, I want to be an entrepreneur or CEO, but don't understand what's the work behind it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, yes, you can be an entrepreneur, but how much are you making? Oh, it's about the money. It's a game. It's a top score.
Yeah.
In your field.
Yeah, and you can't argue with the money and the runs on the board.
It's numbers.
It's all numbers.
Numbers on the board.
That's why the game of business is the best game to play, because it's a game that can be played for the longest time, and you can go through a period in business where you're not making as much money as you dream to, but you can change it in a week.
Oh yeah,
and that's the beauty of this. Whereas you found out with sports, you know, you can break your back, or you can bust a disc, or you can bust your knee, or you can flick your ankle. But in business, you could be 2 million, 3 million in a hole, and turn it around to be 5 million positive inside 1 week, and a little bit of thought process.
You'd be very surprised how fast you can go to 1 million. And there's this mathematical thing that I've learned a long time ago. I'm going to do the camera, maybe we can get it. I don't know. We'll see. So if you double up every day, okay. So which camera should I put this one?
Well, put it on the main camera there, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do this here. Okay,
I'll hold that for you.
Okay, so here's a double. Here's 1. Okay, you start with 1 dirham.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you can count 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 2,
3, 4, 5,
6, 7,
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 doubles, and you're at 1,048,000.
Yeah. That's how fast.
That's
how fast it gets. But people understand this math.
Yeah.
It is mind blowing how fast you can literally change from like this to that. But you just need to like just focus on what the hell.
That's essentially how you get rich. You just double.
Like for me, like, okay, how fast we double this? A month, 2, 6. Okay, go ahead, do it. Let's do another one.
Yeah, that's definitely just made me think differently about a lot of stuff.
And it's not about diversification fast. No, don't do that. You got to do one thing, do it very well. Make so much money from that, and that excess money goes into diversifying. You can't be doing like, I'm a dancer, I'm a DJ, I'm a PT, it's like, what are you doing? You're all over the place. You cannot be doing money, all of them. Focus on one thing, do it very well. Maybe do two things, but they're within the same realm. Okay. But you can't be doing 10 things and wonder why things are working. Yeah, because you have no focus.
100%. My focus is becoming the best educational podcast that's ever lived.
That vision.
That is 100% my goal.
Because you right now, you're doing something amazing, which is basically you are getting with people who are very good in what they do in their field. You learn from them. You have a connection with them. And then you can take all that knowledge and connection be used for something else. Because you might meet me today and meet somebody else in 3-4 weeks that will add value to me or add value to them.
100%.
And you be the better person and make money from that. So what you're doing is absolutely beautiful.
Well, what I want to do is I want to start, and I have done this already. I've obviously been doing the podcast for 3 years, but what I do is I connect founders with founders and find ways that they can collaborate and other stuff like that, so I can allow them to facilitate making money. Exactly. I.e., I'll see XYZ brand over here, XYZ brand over here. They both have email lists. They both have products that would go well together. Mm-hmm. They are not in competitive spaces, but yet for emailing each other's list, they could generate $5-10 million. Mm-hmm. now I can have the conversation and clip the ticket 1% for the fee, and that's how you
Exactly.
can make the vast amount of income.
Because I do the same thing, but with no cameras.
Yeah,
You know.
but I only realized that probably 6 months into my journey that's what I was building.
Yeah.
Because the way that I do it, the way that this is being built is built as a service to help people break patterns and flip perspectives in their life, and it's not full of bullshit ads or selling crap and all this stuff, because it's not what it's about. I want to add genuine value to the people that listen.
It's value.
More value than anyone else adds in the game.
Yeah.
And that's being added. But then on the back end of that, it allows, because of the value play, and because people like yourself can see that I genuinely love what I do, that allows me to keep booking guests like yourself, and then I can connect you guests together, and then you can do epic things in business.
I immediately understood it. I told you, it's like, hey, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Amazing. And that's how it's going to work for you, because like the more you do of this, hey, I know somebody's going to do this, let me put you in the phone with him. And then eventually one of those things and more of them going to click, and guess what? You're having passive money from other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's about providing, again, it's about the value, value becomes attention becomes money.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing.
But also but I think a lot of people approach podcasts from just money, or approach business from just money all the time. Whereas sometimes you have to look long term at and build the attention before you make any asks.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's one thing.
Add value.
And building that attention is a very scary process, because you do not see the returns immediately. And we build that way. It's like we want to see now.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It took me 3 years to get to the top 1% of most shared podcasts on Spotify in the world.
That's an amazing thing, yeah.
3 years it took.
Yeah.
But other people were looking at my YouTube channel, which wasn't growing as fast, and judging me on that. And I'm like, I will grow. The YouTube channel's going to grow. Don't worry. But you're not seeing the back end of what I'm seeing in Spotify and Apple and stuff. We're still moving. Like
but that's what it's
powerful
consistency.
Thing. Yeah.
But you need to be disciplined and consistent in what you do. That's going to eventually work out.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand it. Again, we spoke about this earlier. Like, people are obsessed with the results, not the process. And you have to enjoy the process of setting up this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Like, you need to be able to, like, okay, I enjoy what I do. And only by doing that, you can do this for so long without seeing a return.
I'll never stop doing this, because it's like today I walked in, I was hyped because you're the first Emirati I've ever had on a podcast, right? I told you. I'm hyped, setting up the cameras, getting the shots right, making you look good, like getting the lighting right. All the 1%. I know you don't need any help for looking good, but what you see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, when you genuinely love what you do, you can delay the gratification in terms of like the money will return,
because you enjoy that you're having this now.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, no, okay, I want the swipe now. I want to get that stuff right now. Like, no, but the euphoria is later on.
Yeah.
Because like there's this two formats. Like, there's people who compete, either they hate losing so much, so they win, so they're relieved, or they want winning so much because they have euphoria when they win.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, even though the goal is one, but the process of why you're doing it is different.
Well, this is where all the joy comes in, because people DM me and they'll say to me, well, who's your ultimate guest? I'm like, don't you understand? You're missing the whole point. Yeah. Every person that I speak to is a curated list of people that I'm genuinely curious and want to meet, become friends with, get to know, add value to their life, learn from. And I enjoy meeting every person on this journey and doing this, because that's the whole point of life. Yeah. Is you go through life and you meet people that inspire you, and you can add value to, they can add value to you. Like, it's just,
you can't pick and choose, because again, there is, each person have their own moment or information or something that added something to your life. I learned something from you, you learned something from me, and eventually I'm going to use that knowledge or information later on. It's like, hey, remember this guy told me this. And that will change your reaction towards something happens to you.
You've taught me, even before the podcast, it's just, you have a relentless vision for what you want for yourself and what you expect and what can be achieved, and you don't put time frames on things happening. Like, they can happen in 10 days if you choose them to.
Yeah.
Or you have an unlimited way of finding ways to make things move in certain areas of your life. And it's just that's something that dawned on me. And like the level of abundance I get to see in the people that I interview on this podcast as well, it's that opens my mind up to whole new levels as well.
Yeah.
So
but that's the thing, is that mindset of abundance, that okay, everything's gonna come to you.
yeah.
You know, it comes to you. It's just like I can't like explain this, but like, you know, it's really this energy of just things attracted to you. I'm not chasing them; they attract to me.
Yeah.
And literally, like, you know, like the stuff that I'm doing in the beach now, the last week, and doing in the next 2 weeks, are like things are just popping out my face every right and left because I'm just open to them.
Yeah.
And literally, I just open DM, send DM, and 10 minutes later he replies me. 5 minutes later we're in the phone. Next day we're meeting, we're doing some crazy stuff. You know, and that only happens because you dare to ask and dare to think and dare to believe and dare to go ahead and do it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't have, but what if they don't reply me? Yeah, but what if they reply you? What if you said, I need to pay this? But what if you said it for free? There's always two sides of the coin. You choose which one you want to see. And the problem, people, like, a lot of times I speak to people, it's like, but what if we fail? It's like, yeah, but what if we succeed? And it becomes like, they never heard it before. Because they never saw a part of the equation before. Because they only see of what can go wrong with this. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally everything is a choice.
Oh, the earlier you understand that, the easier life becomes. First, you're not supposed to be liked or understood by everybody. You're not supposed to be. Yeah, number one. Number two, like, yes, you have a choice to have a good day, but you have to react to this. Because things happen to me all the time. I choose to react with anger or with peace. Like last week, something happened, was supposed to be a problem, and everybody's freaking out. Guys, calm down. Let's not get angry. Let's understand the data. Gather data, ask right people who right questions, understand that, okay, so the results of this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. End of line. We're not going to spend too much time being angry about it. Okay, you want to be angry? Fine. Here's a 5-minute timer. Go ahead. Be angry, scream, cry, punch the wall, do whatever you want to do. We're done? Okay, now we're done with this. Now let's focus about how we deal with this practically.
Yeah.
You know, practically. Intuitively. The problem is, like, people are thinking with their head, not with their feeling. And again, feeling is a natural thing. It's intuition. It's like a lot of people will do things, oh, but I felt that was bad. Or I saw a red flag in the beginning. So why did you go through it? That was your ego, because you thought you can change it. But your intuition told you no. Your feeling, intuition from the universe, told you no. But you still went through it. So the earlier you understand and know that the difference between your ego and your intuition voices, oh my God. Like, a lot of times I will go to a meeting, while I'm going there, I'll feel something wrong. I call, hey, I can't make it, sorry. Block. But it doesn't matter. My intuition told me, because it knows things on an atom level that vibrates in ways you don't even understand, that eventually, we dodge a bullet. With feeling, intuition.
But in order to feel, you first have to be able to get quiet and to be able to listen to yourself.
So clear your aura.
How do you clear your aura?
So again, 2 things. Okay, so people either pray, meditate, thoughts, because you control your thoughts. It's mind over matter. You control what conversation happens in your head. You know, you control that one. Again, like, you like, I can say this with you, you know, alcohol, for example. Oh, alcohol, I understand, but what's the other word for alcohol? Spirits.
Oh, this is mad. I never even thought of that.
And that's energies.
Yeah.
Past goes in your aura, ruins things. Every time we were drinking, guess what happens to you? Bad shit happened to you.
Yeah, because you just took bad spirits.
Yeah, it's like, okay, your perception of fun is to put poison in your stomach. Well done.
Yeah.
You put in spirits and poison in your system. And then your aura becomes weakened. So you have the other energies coming towards you and ruins you.
And by taking these poisons, by taking these drugs that you shouldn't be taking, by taking all these things to get away from yourself, you lower your immune system and then wonder why you get sick, and then that also puts you in a different predicament.
Exactly. Your lining becomes off, so you're not connected anymore to the universe. I walk barefoot every day on the sand. I discharge and re-angel ice. Every day.
Yeah. Because you need grounding.
Exactly. People don't understand, oh, that's just bullshit. It's okay. Fine. But we are very small beings in the universe.
Yeah.
The moon is a very small thing in the space, and it affects the waves in Earth. Waves go up and down and tide because of the moon. Purely. So, okay, so you want to tell me that doesn't affect you as a human? Doesn't affect when this star and this planet align with the Earth? Doesn't affect you?
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong? You're doing all the wrong things and wondering why life is shit because you're doing the wrong things. It's like, okay, it's an equation. Okay, I want to have 6 abs. Okay, you need to eat properly, eat healthy, you have this much fat, your cardio, you sleep, rest. No, but I don't want to do that. I want to do pizza. Okay, fine, then you won't get it. There is rules to the equation. There
are processes that need to be followed in order for you to achieve this. And the simplest process for everyone who listens to this to follow is like, let's just set a goal. Let's set a goal on this podcast, because I really want, this audience is an unbelievable audience of people that want more for themselves. I'm going to set you a goal. The next 100 days, right? Remove alcohol, remove caffeine, remove casual encounters that don't empower you, remove all these elements where there are a lot more than 1%, but remove all these percentage changes that you know don't compound in a positive manner. Just remove them, because
these are habits. See, like I love that so much, because like I had a friend of mine who smokes for the last 20 years. I cannot live with smoking. And then they came in and they had to stay in my house for 10 days. Listen, before you come, have your last cigarette or last vape, whatever you want to call it. In my house, there's no smoking. You want to go all the way down? Go all the way down. But no smoking. Respect it. I don't like the smell of it. I don't smoke. I don't hate the smell of smoke and the smell of alcohol. So out of respect, they did it for the first 3, 4, 5 days. And he goes like, it's been a week I haven't been able to touch cigarettes. And I'm surprised of myself. Because these are all habits. Oh, I cannot live with no coffee. Wherever lie you're telling yourself, you're right. Because you have trained your unconsciousness that you cannot do it.
Yeah.
You gotta change that word and say, okay, I can do this.
And one thing about habits that I've learned is when you want to break a habit, change your environment in order to break the habit.
Exactly. Change it. Like, you'd be surprised when you stop messaging first people.
How many people stop contacting you back?
Wow. So much disappears. Because, like, I'm 41. Look at my skin. You know, people think I'm 30, 35, whatever. It's like, I don't allow toxics in my life. Comes from substance or people or thoughts.
Yeah.
Because all three matters. Thoughts are toxic, people are toxic, and substance are toxic. When you have control of all three, oh my God.
Life changing. Yeah, because you are very free. You're very free in your aura. And then people around you feel free.
Yeah, I know.
And we wouldn't meet in life if our energy levels didn't match.
Exactly.
People don't understand.
So I don't know you. You didn't know me before.
Yeah.
I didn't follow you before. You didn't follow me before.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
And it happened,
because
right?
I vibrate differently, and you want an Emirati, and I wanted to have somebody else, and then pow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I had to put and it happened.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of things, you know. It's like, that challenge is amazing, you know. And really, I think, break it down to small pieces. Okay, start the first 3 days. Start the 5 days. Do a milestone. Celebrate. Like, go out and say, hey, it's been 3 days. Be accountable for yourself and your surrounding. Hey, I just did 3 days. I just did 5 days. Oh, I messed up, guys. I'll restart again. I'll do better.
Energy drinks, right, had me addicted.
I know.
Yeah? They had me addicted. Now I walk past fridges full of them, and I'm not interested in them.
Yeah.
And because when I realized how good I felt away from substances that were controlling me.
Yeah, you thought you could never do it. It's like, no, I need this to be this. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah, and you're right. And I told myself a lie for a long time about it.
It's always a lie.
I told myself this. I'll tell you all exactly the lie I told myself. I told myself the lie that because I didn't drink, because I didn't do drugs, and because I didn't smoke, I was allowed.
You think you're allowed to have this?
I'm allowed. I said I was allowed this vice in my mind because, and as soon as I realised that I had the audacity to tell myself that I could facilitate that because of that, I'm like, that is just a lie.
Yeah.
And that's why the tagline to this podcast is break patterns and flip perspectives, because I want every one of you that listens to this, you know, listens to Ahmed and stuff like that, to question every false narrative, every false belief that you have in your life that's keeping you at a certain level so you can smash through it.
Because there is no environment, people. I get that. But you can't control them, but you can control only you. That's the only variable you can change and control. You. Oh, but everybody around negatives. Then change them. Why are you allowing that? Like I said in the beginning, I don't allow clowns in my life to complain my life is a circus.
Yeah.
You allowing that to happen to yourself.
Yeah, you've got a choice.
Yeah, you have a choice to stop texting these people. They will stop texting you too. Or if the text is, you think you're better now? It's like, yeah, I am better. Because I don't have you. Yeah. Oh, but sometimes my best friend, not best friends, you're the illusion of best friends.
They're a creature of your current circumstance.
Yeah, you're just used to them. You just comfort with them.
Yeah.
That's it.
And as soon as you raise your auric energy levels, then, you know, the vibrations around you change. As soon as you raise that, you attract in different things, you attract in different environments.
People and so on and so on. Yeah, exactly. How do you meet these people? Nothing. How do you win all these awards? Guess what? I participate.
Yeah.
You need to participate in life differently for you to win differently.
Yeah. You need to move in different ways, in different circles, in different...
You can't be squeezing every day tomato, and wonder why there's no orange juice. Because it's tomatoes. You want this outcome by doing this action. Change the action to get the right outcome you want.
Yeah.
You know, it's just mind blowing for me. It's like, people complain. It's like, don't complain to me.
It's literally a decision.
Absolutely. And some people go, you're talking down to me. It's like, I'm not talking down to you. I'm not going to lower myself because you can't go bigger.
Yeah.
I worked so hard to reach it. Like, you know, I look at myself as this. Like, I'm in Burj Khalifa top floor. And everybody is a fish in the aquarium. I cannot judge them for not able to fly. Because they're fish. Until they choose to become something else, then I can't talk to them. Because you do not see what I see. My perspective is different. You do not see what I see. And I can't go down to see what you see. And it's a very harsh thing to say, but like that's how it is. You want to be down there? Fine. This is not for everybody. Some people are content and happy being a couch. And that's okay. That's who they are. Being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. It is hard work. It is sleepless nights. You are in war with everybody. You know, it is not easy. But forget about that entrepreneurship thing and the money. Okay, it's about lifestyle, about like mindset, about these things also. Because like just stop drinking or stop smoking and stop this. People think vape is okay. It's like, no, it's not okay. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's a whole vape mindset. Okay, just vape.
Well, it's a low socio-economic thing to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Why would you?
Sucking a pencil. What is this?
Yeah. Because now you got another addiction. Now you got another crutch.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm stressed, and how is this solving a problem? It's not. You solve the problem. Like you have a problem. Okay, why this happen? Oh, I can't pay my rent. I can't pay my rent. Okay, so the vape is making you pay your rent?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, essentially, it's all about as soon as you take self-ownership and self-responsibility of what's happening in your life,
yes,
that's when you become free.
Yeah.
Because when you accept that everything is your fault, positive and negative,
yes,
yeah, and then you see the positives in the negatives,
yes,
that's when you become free.
Right? Accepting what happened.
Yeah.
That's because everybody refused to accept the past. Oh, this happened to me. It's like, okay, it happened. Accept it happened.
Yeah.
I've lost so much money, so much people, so much sleep. I cannot change that. I accept what happened.
But I can create my narrative.
Exactly. I can choose to create 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It might not come to me immediately.
But I can choose it.
Exactly.
Love it.
And that's what the people that's, for them, choice is something so hard to do. It's like, it's within you. You know? You can make me angry. You can say something to me and I can react. Or like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
You choose that reaction. You control that. You'd be surprised how much you can control these things.
So it literally is all within you and all within your mind.
It's that space between your ears, man. It's beautiful.
And it's opening up that third eye to have a connection with your higher self, taking yourself out of your own body and experiencing the whole rather than just.
And people don't know. People walk around like oblivious about these things, just zombies. You know, it's like, okay, sure, that's who you are. It's okay. It's not for everybody. You can't unplug everybody from this matrix.
Yeah,
you cannot.
Yeah, the problem is that people have become so reliant on the externals, the vapes, the smoking, the drinking,
social media,
the toxicity.
Yeah.
There's no problem with social media. It's the way it's whether you it's how it's way it's used.
Yeah.
Social media is either a platform that you can use to publish and spread knowledge the way that we're doing it,
yes,
or you can be a consumer, right? And there's no problem with being a consumer if you're consuming this kind of knowledge, but if you're consuming the rest of it, which is classed as entertainment, but that entertainment dumbs you down and lowers your auric field so you can't go and attract things into your life.
It normalizes things that are wrong.
Yeah.
And that's something like why we're normalizing this is wrong. We all know it's wrong.
Yeah.
That's
why I've noticed a lot of Emiratis. The reason why they're so abundant is because they got that connection to the creator, and they understand that there's a certain way to live, and there's a certain way to conduct yourself and do business, and that's why it works so well here, because you feel correspondent to a higher power than yourself.
Exactly.
So you have to live and die by a certain set of rules.
Yes.
And those set of rules and disciplines are what gives you all your freedom and abundance.
Because again, like you'd rather work your ass off for the next 5-10 years, whatever it is, but then you're free to own than just be lazy for now and you're gonna be a slave for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
And that's again that whole revolution, industrial revolution of like the programming that we had before. It's like, okay, study, be a good student, graduate, get a job, get a mortgage, get a house, get married. It's like, but the schooling is only producing two things: either, good workers, good employees, and it acted like basically a babysitting system for the parents to go and do some more work. That's it. But you did not learn anything. What have you learned in school or university that I actually use in practical life? Zero.
Yeah.
Like the things that I've learned the last 10 years in my business, I haven't learned in my 20 years of being an employee.
Yeah.
Even though I was a very, very big jobs and so on and so on.
It's a different mindset.
Different.
You don't grow from being comfortable. No. And when you have a job, that has comfort.
No.
There's comfort in that. And when you can't grow in something that has so much comfort.
Nope.
Zero.
It's called comfort. You're comfortable. Not doing anything.
Well, anything that has comfort has a ceiling.
Absolutely.
And you can't go through a ceiling in comfort.
And that's why I say, like, when I empty my accounts twice a week, twice a month, because I want to be uncomfortable.
When you empty your accounts,
yes,
are you investing into the watches and the business?
No, that's just business, yes. Different things, opportunities that come along, because I have a team. Okay, here's new opportunities coming up.
Yeah.
Here's this, So, yeah, it goes to that, mainly.
And when you buy assets for yourself, like the watch collection, you got a phenomenal watch collection that you showed me, and other stuff and other artworks and stuff. Is there a certain percentage of the money that you make that you spend on things like that for yourself?
It goes up and down, or it depends on the chances and opportunities. But I try to be more mindful about things. So especially for the next year, because next year is gonna be crazy. Next year is gonna be. You need to be cash heavy right now. I'm 85% liquid right now.
Just because what you're expecting a recession?
Oh yeah, hard. It's gonna be a shit show.
And when you look to invest in assets, are you going to be investing in assets just in Dubai?
No, around the world.
Right. Okay.
Around the world. Because you're going to be buying really good businesses for peanuts. You
Yeah.
know? And then again, like, because also very importantly, okay, so like, you know, a lot of equations and numbers going to go up and down. Like, you know, people can be buying more online. People can be spending less here. You have, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening that's going to create a lot of, not here, but outside this part of the world, like, you know, Europe and America, that will create a lot of crime, a lot of recessions and so on, because people don't have money. Because again, the value of your money becomes less. Like now in the States, if you have $100,000, after a month, it became $9,000. Because, you know, inflation, you know, logistically is different. Like, you know, there's less boats coming out of China right now. There's a lot of different things going to happen next year that's going to be not fun for a lot of people. Unless if you already prepared for it. Like, I've liquidated all my crypto belongings. I'm like literally cash heavy right now.
Yeah, I got rid of all my crypto too.
Yeah. Like,
because it just didn't make sense for me to hold it anymore, because I knew that I can buy these assets at a lot cheaper price.
Yeah. No, the cycle is still going. It's still going to drop a bit more than this, and then the whole S&P 500 is going to go. It's going to go really bad very soon.
People don't understand that crypto, whether they like it or not, is tied to the S&P 500.
Oh yeah.
So if the S&P 500 and the companies within it haven't hit the deck yet, then we haven't found a bottom in crypto. So if we haven't found a bottom in crypto, why would you continue to hold a bag of crypto and ride it down any further? Sell the bag of crypto, set your buy orders in at what you perceive as a reasonable rate, and then just wait.
It's going to take a while, because again, S&P 500, crypto and real estate is going to crash hardcore.
Yeah,
heavily, especially.
Do you think they can print their way out of it though?
No, they're going to be not bail out, it's going to be bail in.
Say that again?
It's not going to be, remember last time we had the bailout?
Yeah.
It's going to be this time bail in. So banks are going to go in the accounts and savings of people and take it away. Because you don't have in banks the gold standard, you don't have to have reserve. So they literally lend out 10 times what they don't have.
Fractional reserve banking.
Exactly. So imagine a lot of people want to go take their money out, they cannot.
Yeah.
So bail in. They can take money from the savings and the bonds they have in, and that's going to create a lot of problems. Like what happened in China. If what happened in China rolls out to Europe, you all guys screwed. Because in China they have this whole called health passport, so face recognition. So that face recognition will allow you to go through, you know, payments, hospital, hotels, transportation. And if you're against the government or protesting, people are in the streets.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. If it gets rolled out everywhere in the world, it's going to be a problem. And China's been doing this almost 7 years ago.
Don't they got digital IDs and all that stuff here?
Yeah, but not rolled out the way they're doing it there.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can't do anything. Like I don't like banking much because I like to have control of my things.
So how are you controlling your money to stop it being at risk of being taken by a bank?
It's all around here in the safes, crypto as what to call it, stable coins.
So you take control of your money in cash
and stable coin.
Really?
Yeah. Because again, like sometimes, like I want to go to the bank, I want to withdraw money. I can't withdraw my money. Oh, sorry, so you can't withdraw as much money. It's my money. It's like, no, you can't. You have to come next day or break it down to small pieces over the next days. It's like, what?
Well, even in Dubai, that's
even in
happening?
Dubai sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't withdraw a large sum of money after like 3 o'clock.
I got worried the day I went into a bank and I said to them, I want X amount of thousands of dollars. And they said to me, what do I want to do with it? And I'm like, hang on a minute, that's none of your fucking business.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, well, no, unless you tell us you can't have your money. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
Same thing with me. Like, you know, I remember exactly. So for me, like, you know, I can transfer 20 million to you right now through crypto, and literally, you know, a minute it costs me less than $10.
Yeah.
And if I want to do this over a bank, it would take another week. It costs me so much money. I have to submit documents, KYC, passport copies, contracts, and attest them and send them, and then wait for them to approve it. It's like, no.
We haven't got time for that.
I don't have time for that, you know. I don't have time for that. And now with crypto, you can actually, if you have stablecoin, you can actually pay everywhere with that, as Visa or MasterCard. There's a lot of applications and formats you can actually literally just do double click. It's like an Apple Pay from your crypto wallets directly. So there's a lot of amazing stuff out there now. You can use that to give you freedom. Because
out of all the countries and places that I've been to, the more I come to Dubai, the more I think this is probably one of the best places to live, I reckon.
it's the only place in the world you can live now. Safety,
Yeah.
number one. Lifestyle. Besides that, also crypto friendly. Opportunities. It's central to the world. So within here, 5-6 hours, you can go everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the amount of countries I can see from here, the whole Asia, most of Africa, or Europe, within 7 hours, everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's good. Like 19% to 18% of people here are owning crypto.
See,
No tax.
yeah.
Keyword: no tax. Zero tax. Zero income tax. That's huge.
Yeah. Because it's not just about what you make; it's about what you can keep.
Yes. If you're in Europe, you cannot do that.
This is why.
You cannot keep nothing. And then again, healthcare is very good here. So like, okay, you're not paying tax to cover, but you can buy an insurance that covers you for every healthcare.
That's why I became a resident of Dubai, because I was in Australia and obviously, look, what's Australia? Australia's abundant. It's a beautiful place, one of the best places in the world to live lifestyle-wise, right? 100% is. But it's high tax, high amount of hurdles to jump through to make anything happen in your life. What do you mean it's not safe?
Not as safe as here. You have drugs in the streets. You have guns in the streets. Here we have no drugs or street home. We have no homeless people here. There's no drugs. There's no guns.
Yeah.
I leave all my cars unlocked with a key inside them.
No homeless people? No.
Nothing. We don't have this. We don't have these things here. We don't have guns in the streets.
Yeah.
None of these stuff are here. Have you ever seen a homeless person? No, you never see that. We don't have begging here is illegal. You have no money. There's channels. You go to them. We'll take care of you.
Yeah. Begging's illegal. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't even cross my mind. I mean, the only problem I had with Australia was the fact of like you pay a high premium and a high premium to live there, and you're not as connected with the world as everywhere as somewhere like Dubai.
Yeah.
And that was
far. Everything is at least an hour's flight.
What in Australia? Everything is at least 10, 20 hours.
Yeah, exactly. At least, It's long flights. It's like too far.
Yeah.
I know.
And that affects the way that you can do business. It affects the guests that you can have on. It affects everything.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the culmination I had to come to. I had to go, do you know what? If I want more for myself, if I want to take my life to the next level, if I want to get these, I got
choose to move, and that's what I did. And that's a genius thing you did. You moved.
I go where I go. I'm going to go in life where I'm treated best. Essentially,
here you go.
You know what I mean? And essentially, I feel treated best in the West for what I'm trying to achieve in this moment. Not to say I won't go back there and visit and stay there for 3 months holiday and do this, that, and the other. Not holiday, but you know what I mean. 3 months work, business, all that stuff. But it's just to live there at this point would be a travesty, because I can't attract the things in that I can attract here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all about energy. And like here, you're central. You're closer to things. You can always fly somewhere close by. You can do things differently. There's so many awesome human beings coming over this part of the world. So many awesome people.
Yeah,
you know,
I'd never imagined in my mind as a Westerner to live in a Muslim country would be a potential option for Westerners.
But again, that's the beauty of this place, is that level of tolerance and acceptance.
Yeah,
because there's a part in Dubai. There's literally a mosque and a church and a nightclub opposite each other. You have a choice to do any of those things. Respect others. Reasons why, for example, the clubs close at 3:30. Or 3. You know why is that? The reason is basically so enough people, drunk people, can leave and empty the space in time, give an hour buffer. So when prayers, Muslims, they go to the morning prayer, there's no clash.
Yeah.
So you do you, enjoy yourself, be home. So if somebody else wants to go and pray, there's no clash of beliefs and respect and so on and so on.
Yeah,
it's a matter of respect.
It is a very accepting place.
If you respect the culture, like, again, it's a Muslim country, but like you're free to do whatever you want to do, with mindfulness of respecting the others.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Be a human. Be decent.
I see that
Yeah.
whole thing running through here in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
But if I said to you, what's the one thing that you could leave this audience with? One pearl of wisdom. You can't, Ahmed, you can't check out the world with anything that you've got in the physical realm. But you can just leave one piece of pearl of wisdom for my audience to allow them to break patterns and flip perspectives in their life. What would it be?
I mean, we said a lot of things today. We've said a lot of awesome stuff to the community today. Like there's a lot of like there's no one thing, but like I think the main thing is like you have a choice. You know, use your brain. It's still legal.
Use your brain, it's still legal.
Yeah. but you have a choice, and the earlier you understand you have a choice of how you react and see the world and how you do things. Like you can wake up, okay, I'm done with this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It's okay to change your mind. It's actually really okay to like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this. But you said, it's like, yeah, I said I can change my mind.
That's mad.
Yeah. People don't understand that.
I think they will after this conversation. This conversation, I knew this conversation was going to be powerful. I know when you record as many podcasts as I do, you can hear how powerful this is going to be to a lot of people.
I hope so. I really, this is why I'm doing this, is to share my traumas and my experiences.
Yeah.
That's my success. That's for me. You can't relate to that. If I share my weaknesses, my traumas, my journey, that could be related to somebody that might inspire them to, hey, that made sense to me.
Yeah.
That resonated with me in some kind of way that, okay, I will do this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing these things.
Yeah.
Because I want to share that.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you. And guys, I hope you got as much value out of this podcast as I have. And Ahmed's been kind enough to have me in his home, and you're obviously the first Emirati I've ever had on the podcast.
Anytime, hit me up, come over.
And guys, do me a favor. When you're in Dubai, visit Aquafun. Go and enjoy the parks. Go and have some fun around there.
Epic fun.
By the time you all get here as well, Ahmed will have the beaches as well, with the beach clubs for you.
Watch me.
It's all coming. But guys, do me a solid favor. Share this on social media. Drop us a message. Let us know what you got from the podcast. And yeah, just keep sharing this to more people and help me get it out to more people. You know how passionate I am about this, and I'm trying to go to every location in the world and get you the best guests, the best content, so that you can break patterns and flip perspectives in your life. And I'm passionate about you all doing that. So stay tuned. Much love. Ciao.
Guys, do me a solid favor. Drop a comment below this video and let us know who you want on the podcast next.